Hey, what is up guys? Doug here, and this is another update video. So, you may have noticed that I have deleted my Archer video where I said I was going to quit. Well, that, as you probably already know, is not true. I am not quitting because, well, after my Archer died, I made a knight, and a friend of mine told me that, knights get a lot of white bags, and they do, which is kind of cool. So I went to some cemeteries and everything, and I got an incation, which you probably saw in the loot montage video. So after I got the incation, I sold it. I almost maxed def. I was maxing and everything, I had high def, and I'm going around and I'm getting all this loot, and I'm going crazy, and I'm filling my vaults, and then all of a sudden I die, and I'm like, wow, that sucked. Wow, okay then. And then I'm like, well, I had a backup in my vault, so I put on the armor, and I'm trying to max def, but I can't because 40 def is a lot, especially when you don't have any really good items to sell. So, I'm trying to max def. I can't. I'm just kind of like this noob knight, can't do anything. And then finally, good friend of mine, he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I'll sell you a myth shield for 2 def." And so I take out my 2 def from my vault, and he gets on Realm of the Mad God, and he comes over and he tells me, turns out I don't have myth, I have a Colossus, and he literally gives me a Colossus for 2 def and 3 whiz. So I sell that for 3 life, and I almost max def, and I'm doing really good. I max def, I max some other stats, I run some sprites, I run some snake pits, I'm maxing, I'm getting all these white bags, I'm getting all this loot. It's really good. And then finally, now I'm 6/8. I'm literally 6/8, and I'm like, yes, because, I've been 5/8 on my priest twice, but this is the first time I've ever been 6/8 in my life. So, I'm still scared of O2. And I'm trying to run this O2, and I get in a stun, and then I get in another, and I'm pretty sure I make my threshold, the 1000 threshold for the soulbound. And I'm not exactly sure, so I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in and hit him some more, but I just can't. And I'm like, I got no loot. And then finally he gets killed, and I go up and I get foul malevolence for the first time ever, and I'm like, oh man, this looks so sexy, because foul really does look amazing. But but then, once I got that foul, I'm no longer scared of O2s. And when a wine cellar comes, I'm just running them, I'm just rushing. I go in, I'm just stunning and stunning and stunning, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm such a boss, woo, oh yeah. And that was my big mistake. So after that, I'm thinking, I'm so boss at these O2s, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm just gonna own this guy and get a claim sword and everything. I'm gonna be awesome. Woo, woo, woo. And, yep, you guessed it. I walked into O2 and I got the first there, which was my mistake because I've never got first there. So now I'm taking all the aggro. And I think I can handle that because, I'm still a noob. I've only gotten 6/8 once. So I go in for the stun, I get the stun, and I'm shooting him a little bit, I get the stun again, and then, like an idiot, I start circling him clockwise. And as most of you probably know, if you're running clockwise and you get confused, you're gonna run straight into the shotgun. And I got confused, and I was like, oh snap, I think I'm going clockwise. Like in a split second, and I was like, I'm about to die. And so, I'm trying to master the confuse really quick, and if you press A and S, it goes the same way as A and S if you're not confused. So I'm trying to do A and S, but I'm so stupid because I was in the top. So like I was literally a knight in the top, and I was circling clockwise. So I got confused, and I start holding on A and S, and like a dummy, I run straight through orcs, which was actually kind of funny. And I take it so many hits, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna die. And then I move my mouse to the Nexus key, and I start clicking it like rapidly, just start clicking it, and I'm like, oh man, oh man, oh man, and I die. So yeah, so I mean, it was mostly my fault. It was. I mean, lag had something to do with it. I probably could have nexused if there wasn't so much lag. Thanks, Kabam, for those amazing bots that really, really rule. Um, yeah. But so 6-8 died, and all I've got good in my vault is a foul, and I think I'm gonna sell that for some life pots and try to do the same thing with my knight and get some def and drink it and everything. What I was doing was, since um, I have five character slots, I was thinking my knight is going to die someday. I know it. So I'm gonna try to max other classes. And like an idiot, I don't. But I tried. I got some pots and I put them in my vault. And my priest came and drank them, and I put back on my knight. So my priest is actually pretty good. And I think after I sell my foul, I can buy some def, and then after that, my priest can farm from my knight, and I will be back on track. But until then, I am a crazy noob. So yeah. Well, kind of glad because I got like 1,000 fame for that, so that was kind of cool. I actually got 1,015, but you know, it's kind of cool. I got some fame. I learned that I'm still a noob and I can't solo O2. I mean, I can on Assassin, but I can't on Knight. So, fortunately for me, I still have some pots drank on my priest. I'm actually almost max def on this priest, so I will max def on priest and I will start farming from my knight and such and so. And once that happens, when I max again, then I will be back on track. Oh, and one quick thing before I end this recording. Um so the loot montage, the number 4 called So Many White Bags. I know it's only 4 white bags, but I got the 4 white bags in like one day. Like the two I got in the cemetery were the in the same exact cemetery. So that was kind of cool. That's why I named it So Many White Bags. Okay, so everyone can stop hating and saying, "That's not any white bags. You didn't do any white bags, Dougie, you idiot." So yeah, what I've started to do is, like, what I was doing was trying to just get it out and trying to make a loot montage just to make a video. But now, that is very boring, and I'm not gonna do that anymore. What I'm gonna do is only put in the good ones, like white bags or a loot that I actually think is special, like a Dex in a Sprite World. Who really wants to see that? Like, seriously, that's just stupid. I mean, if you guys want to see that, leave a comment, because if you guys do want to see that, I mean, I could make loot montages like multiple times per day. But yeah, so leave a comment, um, like, favorite, subscribe, because that helps me a lot. And I think that's it. Peace.